question has come up in the last 14 days over and over and over and over again. And it's the topic of me on autopilot, repeating. You're going to charge what? As we are finishing up our season, we're starting to think about tuition structures, increasing our rates. What does that look like? And so many times, studio owners have been coming to me and say, oh, I'm going to, I add $1 or $2 every year because, that's not scary and nobody's going to complain about that. Nobody will leave over $1 or $2. And to my response, you're going to charge what, huh? Right? There's no math involved. So on today's episode of the Erin Bird Life Show, we are going to dive into how to know what's fair to charge and to increase your rates, and how to get over the fact that people are not going to leave when you change your rates. If you're joining me, I'm Erin Bird, and I come on live every single Wednesday to share with you business tips, tricks, mindset, shifts that need to happen, because I work with dance studio owners and educators to really grow their businesses without the overwhelm, the burnout, the sacrificing their personal life, and really start to build an empire. Now, if you're joining me live, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Always want to know who's with me when I come on live on Wednesday mornings or Wednesday afternoons for you, or because I think it's really important to make this an active conversation, even if, we're not sitting in the same room together. So, and last point, my friends, if you would like a copy of show notes, let me know with the word show notes below. And my friends, if you know someone who needs to hear this today, if you've got a studio owner bestie, who maybe is in another state or even around the corner from you, and you know that they need to hear this message, please, my friends, share. Because we need to have a conversation in our industry about our rates. It is mind-blowing to me what we do in our industry. And we have to collectively come together for change. So many studio owners get into this business, and I hear quite often, Erin, I'm an accidental studio owner. Or, I never set out to do this. I wanted to be a dancer, or I, had other passions, and then I came back in and just it fell in my lap somehow. So I don't really look at myself as a business owner. Math isn't my thing. Oh my gosh, how many times have I heard, math really isn't my thing? Y'all, let me know. Is math your thing? Is math your thing? I want to know. Because here's the deal. For us in our businesses, we don't need to be crazy mathematicians. We need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Those 4 things are very basic, elementary, before 4th grade skill sets that we learn. They are all things that every single one of you are capable of. We aren't doing calculus here. We're not doing, these crazy equations. We're not, we don't need, I was just talking to my kids about it. Gosh, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. The parentheses before someone help me out. What's that called again? The order of operations. None of that. We need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's it. Knowing how to do those 4 things is all you need to know, math-wise, to be successful as a dance studio owner. So I want to just make that clear right now. Okay. So many times, like I said, I have studio owners come to me and we start talking about tuition structures, and especially if you don't feel like you're profitable, or you don't feel like you're making enough money, you're always struggling, and I say, well, let's look at your tuition structure. And all of a sudden the breaks start to happen, and they're like, whoa, Erin, you don't understand. You don't understand my community. You don't understand my demographic. You don't understand why I can't charge more. So I'm going to go into story time real quick, because actually we went through this yesterday with one of my clients, and a big light bulb went off. And so I think that it's really important for me to share with all of you. So I've told this story before. It is a real life story, something that happened to me. And so I want to share it with you, and I want to know what your takeaways are. So inside our church, there was a woman who, beautiful, she is beautiful. And unfortunately, her husband passed away unexpectedly. Now, she is fairly well off. Right before her husband passed away, he had gone out and bought a brand new BMW in cash. There's no payments involved. He just bought it in cash. He wanted a new car for himself, and that's what he decided to buy. After he passed away, she didn't want or need that car. And so she decided that she wanted to sell it, but she didn't want to sell it for what it was worth, because she really wanted to be a blessing to somebody else who was in need. And she went ahead and put, a for sale sign on the car and parked it out, on the street so people passing by could see it. And the for sale sign said, all the information, and the sales price was $5,000. That is amazing, because y'all know that a brand new BMW does not cost $5,000. People would stop, get out, look at the car, look at the sign, and then get back in their vehicle or whatever and move on. So the next week we were back in church, and she's like, I just don't understand why no one is calling me about this BMW. Like, I priced it so it could be a blessing for somebody. Like, I don't want a lot, but I need some, like, I want something for it. And I said, if I were to see a BMW, a brand new BMW on the side of the road with a sign for $5,000 on it, I would want to know what's wrong with it. What's wrong with it that it's only $5,000? Is it stolen? Right? Like, did somebody steal this? Does it have no engine in it? Like, I would want to know what's wrong with it. My friends, if your pricing is so low that you're not profitable, that you're not making the money you desire, and that it's not in alignment with who you want to be or who you're saying you are, when people see your pricing, they're going to say, what's wrong with it? Why are they only charging that when everybody else, and when I say everybody else, I'm talking gymnastics, karate, swim lessons, like, they all charge this over here, and they're kind of within this range, and for some reason you're over here, you're down here. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? If you tell me we are a studio that that's a pre-professional program that breeds amazing dancers that go on to be professionals, and then your rates are so dirt low that you're scraping by, you are part of the problem in our industry. You're part of the problem, and I'm sorry if that offends you, but here's the reality. We have to kick the starving artist mentality to the curb, and your money stories, which we all have that are rooted back to our childhood, they are perpetuating this problem in our industry. Then we tell ourselves stories as to why everyone else can charge more, but if we charge that, nobody will come or everyone will leave. Y'all, it's a lie. And I know I'm getting a little sassy here. I know it. It's a lie that you're telling yourself out of fear. Out of fear. Math has to tell you what your tuition rates will be. Math. No feelings involved about what Susie's doing down the road. The math can tell you. It's just data. It's just numbers. And it doesn't lie to you. So, we need to use math and not just picking numbers out of the air. I can raise $1 or $2 and nobody's going to complain. Y'all, what's $1 or $2 going to do for you when this is $3 or $5? When gas for me, I just filled up my gas tank yesterday, $5.29 a gallon. It is not in alignment with what the inflation rates are and the value of what you do. Every single time I help a client overhaul their tuition structure or their rates, it's scary. I'm not gonna lie. Amy, you're welcome. I'm not gonna lie. It's scary for everybody. Every time that I raise my rates, I have that moment of like, okay, is anyone going to pay that? Everyone has it. But here's the deal. I know what I know, and what I know is this, that people will find and figure out how to make it work if they value it. They'll figure it out. I'm not saying they might not complain about it. I mean, $1,500 in at the vet's office for my dog's allergy season. Do I like it? No, but guess what? Diggy is part of our family. He's our puppy. I mean, he's not a puppy anymore, but you know what I mean? Like, he's part of our family. So guess what? When I go to the vet and he's having itchy, irritated skin and all the things, I'm buying all the things. I'm taking him to the vet. I'm paying her rates because I value the health and wellness of every member of my family, and she's the expert. I'm not a vet. I'll pay it because I want him to be better, to be healthy. Quality of life. Right? We will figure it out if we value it. If it's a priority to us. I'm not saying that, I think there's something to be said about, us making sure that it's accessible. But I have to remind everybody that accessibility can happen in many different ways. Accessible to others does not mean to your detriment. Hear me again. You cannot want it for them more than you want to take care of yourself. Period. The end. That is it. You can't do more when you're poor. You cannot help people and continue to serve your community if you have to shut the doors because you didn't do the math. And you're hoping it all works out. Hope is not a strategy, my friends, and I'm so sorry to tell you that, but the reality is it is not a strategy. Y'all, can y'all tell I get a little fired up about this topic? It's one of the reasons why I decided to write the Passion and Profit Project, because over and over and over again, I was seeing studio owners just like scrape by, become overwhelmed and burned out, and close their doors simply because they didn't feel empowered to make the choice that, you know what, I could charge more. They didn't have the support that they needed to know how to do the math. I really get fired up on this topic because when you create a tuition structure that supports not only you, but it supports your staff, it supports your community. You're a job creator, my friends. You are making your community thrive. But what happens when you don't charge accordingly? It's not sustainable. This is why when you look at business statistics of, people going to business, how 10% of businesses last more than 10 years. I mean, my gosh. We got to do the math. And I'm going to tell you right now, whenever I start to work with a client, our first goal is to get them at at least 30% profit margin. That's the first step. If you're not at a 30% profit margin after you have paid yourself, again, let me be clear. That is after you have paid yourself. Not the 30% that's left over as profit is yours. I mean, it is, but as your pay. No. That 30% profit margin is there for a savings account. It's there, right? Like, it's there to make improvements. It's there to do more for your staff and give bonuses, give benefits packages, give things that make your teachers and your staff want to stay forever and ever and ever. That's what that's there for. And to have a healthy business. It's not enough. It's not enough. Period. The end. That is it. It's not enough. Now, I would be remiss if I did not tell you that math is my thing. I love it. And I love it because it helps me make data-driven decisions that move my business forward, and it's allowed me to see my bank account, my teachers' bank accounts grow, my staff's bank accounts grow, and my community thrive. I can tell you so many clients that have come in and worked with me who did not like math when they started, but once they felt like they understood it and they saw the shift in their bank accounts, oh boy, they are on the math bandwagon now. Okay? Math tells you what to do. Until next season to change your tuition rates for new people coming in, for whatever. You don't have to wait. It's another thing that I hear all the time. Oh, Erin, I can't raise my rates right now. It's the middle of the season. Who says? Starbucks just raised our rates on April 1st here because there's a new law in California that fast food workers, which Starbucks is included in that, their minimum wage is now $20 an hour. $20 an hour minimum wage to work at McDonald's, Starbucks, Burger King. Y'all, that's bananas. Okay? They didn't wait. No, April 1st that law came in effect. Guess what? This went up. Because they're making the data-driven decisions that they need to based upon the numbers. I should have cleaned off my soapbox today. Because I've been on it. I've been on one today. But I've been hearing this over and over and over again. And I just, honestly, it makes me sad. And it makes me angry. It makes me angry that studio owners are consistently charging less than they should. So, my friends, I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you the support that you need. So if you need help with your tuition rates, drop the word help, and I'd be happy to chat with you. And we can see if doing a tuition revamp is right for you. But what I'm going to tell you is $1 or $2 ain't cutting it. It ain't cutting it. Not in today's economy. Just ain't. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not. The math has to tell you what to do. Now, I'm also going to talk about fair. I'm doing that in air quotes. Y'all know it. What's fair? Erin, it's not fair to raise my tuition rates too much. Well, says who? And is it fair that gas is $5.29 a gallon? I mean, no, I think about, geez, I remember when gas was 99 cents a gallon, right? Like, in a time when I was younger. Do I like that it's $5.29? No. But it is what it is. Right? It's not fair to you to work 5 jobs to pay to cover the expenses at the studio. Because you want it for them. You want the kids to have the opportunity. It's not fair. It's not fair to your family that you're gone all the time working like a dog and making no freaking money. That's not fair. If you have a studio and you are worried about students not having the funds to participate, there are ways to solve that problem without you being the one to finance it. There's fundraising, there's scholarships. Open a nonprofit arm of your business and get in grants and donations. If you, in your heart, you're like, no, I really, like, for my community, this is my driving force. I want to make sure it's accessible for everyone, even if we have, you know, our poverty rate is high. I get it, my friends, but there's money out there and there are ways of doing it with, again, not sacrificing your own livelihood. And if you want help with that, drop the word help. Because y'all, I get it. We're in it. We live in an area, our county is very, you know, it's our county as a whole is pretty poor. Right? What we decided to do to make it accessible for more students, to remove the barriers of it between our grant funding, our cash pay, because we looked at it from a different place. But guess what? Not to my detriment. No. There are ways to make it work without sacrificing your own livelihood. Because again, at the end of the day, if I'm not making any money doing this, what's the point? Why am I doing it? I could go to work for somebody else and not have all of, the stress that comes along with being a business owner. There's amazing perks of being self-employed, but is the stress and the overwhelm and the financials more than the benefits? You're an expert. Charge accordingly. Now that I've stood on my soapbox or sat in my chair preaching, my friends, right now is exactly when you need to be looking at your numbers. Right now is the right time to look at that tuition. Say, did it serve me well? Or could the math be a little bit better? I'm running at like a 10% profit margin. There's other people in the industry that tell you, oh, that's great. No, because industry standard is most studio owners run at 7% profit margin. I don't care what the industry standard is. I'm ready to raise the standard. Doesn't work for me anymore. 7% profit? No, thank you. Let's raise the standard together, my friends. And if you need help, we're here. We love helping with tuition structures. We love helping you be more profitable. I love seeing studio owners thrive. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here with you every Wednesday. I want to see you thrive. But I can't want it for you more than you want it for you. Just like you can't want things for your students more than they want them for them. So the choice is yours, my friend. I'm super excited because one of my clients is going to come on and be a guest. She's going to tell you about a new project that she has happening, which is flippin' amazing. And kind of the journey to get there and how this is her next level of a success. And I really asked her to be on because I want anyone who's in my community to know that there is the what's next. There's the next level. You can have a thriving studio and then decide, what's the next level? How do I put my stamp and my mark on the world and leave a legacy? How do I build an empire? And so I'm going to have her on next week. We're going to have a little conversation about it. I would love for you guys to join us next Wednesday, same time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I had to think about that for another episode of the Erin Bird Live Show. And I hope that today was exactly what you needed to hear. That is my hope. And again, the reminder that we are here to support you. You don't have to do it alone. So I'm going to leave you there. I hope you have a fantastic day, my friends, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.